his entire life can now finally, 64 years later, call himself a Canadian citizen. Ian Munroe is the child of a war bride and was never recognized as a citizen of this country. It took a formal complaint to the Human Rights Commission for him to be granted citizenship. CTV's Kellen Sundal with his story.
Ian Munroe was proud of the Canadian colours, but until this week he wasn't recognized as part of the country's fabric.
My brother's Canadian. I have 3 children, Canadians. My wife's Canadian. My mother and father were Canadian. Everybody's Canadian except me.
Ian's father, a Nova Scotian, met his wife in Scotland during the Second World War. They married, had Ian, and moved back to Canada. Ian has lived his entire life in citizenship limbo. 5 months ago, he applied to have that changed. Recently, Ian received a call from a Citizenship and Immigration worker. During the conversation, she asked him if he was born out of wedlock. He told her he wasn't. Now he's wondering why he was even asked the question in the first place. He's filed a human rights complaint, citing discrimination.
She can't ask me my race, my color, my creed, my religion. She can't ask me any of that, but she can ask me if my mother and father were married. And it bothers me.
A day after filing the complaint, Ian's citizenship was approved. War bride historian Melinda Jarrett says there are thousands of lost Canadians born out of wedlock being denied citizenship.
We're applying this rigid Victorian moral code to children who are now 65 and 66 years old, who are just finding out in many cases that they were born out of wedlock, and they are being told that they are not Canadian citizens.
This is my birth certificate.
Ian was lucky because his mother kept all the paperwork, marriage documents and birth certificates. Not everyone has proof.
I just applied for proof of citizenship. They have to apply for citizenship. 2 years, a couple of $100 if you're lucky. And maybe you'll live to get your citizenship, maybe you won't.
Ian will tackle the issue of discrimination. He wants to make a difference for others so they, too, can officially call themselves Canadian. Kellen Sundal, CTV News, Chester, Nova Scotia.